Since I was a teenager, I have thought about what I'm going to do. What do I want to do in this life? What do I want to work as? Who do I want to be? We're told by our parents, by the world, by our teachers, by our friends, by the mainstream narrative. Go to uni, then get a degree, which will give you a job that will give you just enough to just live on. You're told to work this job until you're 70, until you can retire. Then you retire. Then you use your pension that you've built, and then you die. That is what we're told to do. And I'm not saying that education is all bad. Education is not all bad. But this path is laid out for us. We have been given this. It's been said this is the way to the treasure. This is the way to life. But if you're watching this video, you probably know that it's not the path that you want to take, because you see the fruit of it in many people's lives. You see what people are doing with their lives, and you see, I don't want to be like the majority of people. I don't want to be stuck in a job that I hate, that maybe makes a decent amount of money but hasn't got a true purpose. It doesn't really give me the true adventure of meaning in my life that I want. It doesn't make me fulfilled in the sense that I'm providing the value that I could to people. And maybe you're just a bit lost and you think, I don't want that, but I don't know what else to do. If you're going to uni to become an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer or a few other things, then yeah, go and study well and do everything you need to do to get the degree. But if you're just going there because you're listening to others, you're listening to what others are doing, you're following what your parents tell you and what your teachers told you, and you're not going there because you've critically thought out why you're going there, what you're going to do, what you're going to get from it, why that's good, and why you're going to take part in those 4 years of your life, or even longer or even less, and you're going to turn up to these lectures, you're going to do all the work you need to do. If you're just doing it just because you've been told to, then you're just like a leaf blowing in the wind. You're just following what he says, what she says, and you're just ultimately a slave to others in your mind. And that comes out in your actions by following what they do and what they say and believing it. And you don't need to do that. It doesn't mean everyone who goes to uni is a fool. No, they're not. A lot of them are very smart. A lot of the people who sit on their asses, like you might be doing, complaining about uni and complaining about, the education system, and it is messed up at the moment, really messed up, but you need to do something else. You can't just sit there and complain and work a crappy job that you don't like, that isn't going to move you anywhere, that you aren't building skills in. It's better than nothing, yes, well done. You're not sitting on your ass doing nothing if you are working a job. Respect that. I'm working jobs, dead-end jobs. I am, but I'm not going to be there forever. Don't just complain. Don't just complain about what's going on. It's easy to do it. It's easy to just complain about uni and see a scam that it is. If you're not going there for a real reason, to get in debt, to just party, to be a degenerate, just to do a load of stupid stuff, and that's what unis are filled with, a lot of them. But you don't have to do that. You probably have heard this. You've probably heard Andrew Tate talk about it. You've probably heard loads of, wealthy content creators talking about how uni is this and that, and you can do this. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do about this? Are you going to stay stuck? Are you going to stay still? Are you going to keep working that crappy job and not work on your side hustle, not build your skills, not develop a skill set, not build your business? What are you going to do? Don't be following what other people are doing just because people are doing it. Think about who you could be. Think about who God calls you to be. Think about these things more than what he's doing. Don't live a life made by people's opinions. And you've heard it all cliche in it, to not fit in and just to, stand out. And I don't mean in that bloody liberal sense where you start walking around naked and you dye your hair pink and you go, yeah, I don't care. No, I just mean with what you want to do. You need to know what you want to do for yourself. Not having people's opinions implanted in your decision making, in your thinking. Remove that. You need to think about what God thinks about you above all. He wants you to provide value on this earth. He wants you to be a vessel of truth and light on this earth. But you have to choose a path to take. He's given you that opportunity, and he's given you talents, he's given you skills and gifts, and also a call to grow in skills that you don't have. But he's also given you a will to choose to build skills so that you can become better and the most valuable person you could be on this earth. That's what needs to center your thinking. You do need to think about yourself, because you're the only one who can make decisions in your life. You're the only one. Not your mum, not your dad, not your girlfriend, not the masses of people who you think care about you, who really don't care. The people who look at you, the people who see you, the people on social media, they don't care about you. They don't care. They'll say something and then they're just on to the next person saying something about them, who's doing something good, who's trying to build something, who's trying to grow, who's going out of their comfort zone, who's doing things that build them. They're just there mocking and scoffing at the person who's trying to become more. Don't worry about them. They're just going to stay where they are. Pray for them. Pray that they may not do that anymore, that they may start to climb and stop trying to pull down. Don't be one of them. Be someone who is moving towards something. It's easy to not do anything in this day and age. It's easy to just live on benefits. It's easy just to get a safe job, get a 9 to 5, you know, I'm a waiter, I'm a bartender, whatever you're doing. If it's 40 hours plus a week and you're just working, come home knackered, no time, no strength, no will to grow in your side hustle, you need to rethink getting a part-time job or something like that, or just work harder, or just get the coffee in you and just get at it. If you're doing that, you might need to get a part-time job, downsize, I don't know, move back to your parents. If you're living in your parents, you know, get a part-time job, do something else, do something different, so that you have the energy and the time to put into your side hustle. If that's what you want to be your main income for the future, to have this side hustle to become your main hustle, you need to have time to develop it. Like with what I'm doing, I want to do content creation. I want to have a community of young men who are striving upward, and I want to provide value to them by selling them courses, by selling them a community, by giving them advice, value. That's what I want to do, and that's what I'm doing. Yours might be something else. Yours might be selling a product, having a business. Maybe it's editing, maybe it's website making. Whatever you're going to do, you need to know that. So yeah, I'm building this. I need to have money to pay for my car, to pay rent to my family. So I've got part-time jobs. I've got 2 part-time jobs that I'm doing while I'm growing my skills by studying, by practicing, doing what I'm doing now, by living, doing more things, because I have a bit more extra time to actually do things that can help me to make better content. So you need to think these things through. Don't overthink them. So find out what you want to do. You know, you have interests. You have these things that call to you, that captivate you, and things that you really are passionate about, and you can use that. You can monetize it. You need to find a way to monetize it. Something that you can really give your everything to. You have these interests, which God has given you, and you have these talents, so you could recognize something you're good at, and you could pursue that. You could go into a field where that skill is needed, and you could use it, and you could thrive in it. So you need to think about what your talents are, what your skills are, what skills you need to build for what you want to do, for the ambition you have, for the goal you've set. Then you need to discern if that is the path for you to take. But don't, whatever you do, don't do nothing. Don't sit on your backside watching content, living on social media, not in the world, not developing skills, not growing in the knowledge of a subject. Don't do that. Whatever you do, and research what you're interested in. Research in how to monetize yourself, to have your own personal brand, to have your own clothing line, to have your own product, to have your own service. Research how to establish your company, your business. First of all, you need to find out what to do. So if you have anyone in your life who you trust, who you look up to, ultimately you want to have a spiritual father who can help you in your decisions, and make sure ultimately it's centered in Christ and make sure that it's integral, that you've got a real why and a real reason for doing it, not just to gain money, not just for that. It can't be just for that. You have to center everything in prayer. Pray, ask the Holy Trinity to guide you into a path that leads to a production of value to the world, to serve, to love, to help people. Pray and ask God to show you what path to take. Do that consistently, and God works wonders. Just seek out. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened. Don't stop knocking. Don't just do nothing. Don't just sit in despair. Knock. Seek. You might have to go to uni. You might change your mind. You might want to do business and then you change your mind and go to uni. You might, go to uni and then realize you want to start your business. Don't do nothing. Then figure out what to do. Figure out what to choose and learn to monetize it, learn to establish whatever it is you want to establish. You have all the information, all of the tools you need are right here. You have the internet, you have books, you can buy books that people hundreds of years ago had no chance of getting a hold of. We have all this knowledge at our fingertips, all of these tools to help us build. We just need to use them. We just need to open our eyes and see that they're there first of all. Stop being blinded by distractions. I have to tell myself that every day. Put down the phone. It's your worst enemy. Research. The knowledge is all there. Type in how to start a business. Type in how to make content. Type in how to build a website. Whatever it is, just take initiative. Take action. That is my next word. Take action. And it's something that I repeat in my videos and that we need to be reminded of every day. No matter how consistent we are, we need to be reminded every day to take action, because we can always improve. We can always develop more. But if you are just starting out, if you have just realized what you want to do, then you need to take action, because you've done the thinking. Now you just need to not overthink and procrastinate. You need to act. You need to turn up and be crap, be slow, be incompetent. But how do you become competent? How do you become confident? How do you learn a skill? By practice and by study, by analysis. That's how you get better. And a lot of people don't start. They just think about starting. That's it for them. They just think about it. And because of the weight of it, because of the amount of pressure that they put on themselves, they fall to it and they don't start. They had a dream, but they never took action. They never took the risk. They never took the jump. Don't be one of them. I really don't want to be one of them, and I was one of them. For 2 years I said I wanted to start YouTube. I turned up a bit, I made like one video, then I left it for like 8 months. Then I made another one, and it was like on and off, and every day I would just be in this war in my mind. What am I doing? I just need to do it. But I was overthinking so much. I had this massive goal, making a video, a perfect video, not being stupid on camera, not talking like a fool, not making sense and all of these things. Overthinking all of the small details and quite big things, but overthinking them instead of just turning up and practicing and then improving, not overthinking it and trying to be perfect. That stopped me for 2 years from being consistent and from building a habit. I would have been a lot better if I started 2 years ago than I am now. And that's the advice I give to you. Don't overthink about it, being perfect, not making mistakes. Stop. You're going to be crap. Take action regardless, and then improve, and listen to feedback, and seek out feedback. And you know deep down what you need to work on anyway. You have a conscience. You know where you could do better, but you don't know everywhere where you could do better. So listen to feedback, but just take action. Honestly, your procrastination is the reason why you are where you are now. And do you want to be where you are now? Are you in the same place you were 2 years ago? Are you in the same place you were 5 years ago? Because you've just listened to these excuses you've produced in your mind. You've built this prison in your mind and you're stuck in it. Break out. You have a choice right now. Past is gone, future's not here yet. All you have is now. You have a choice right now to break out of this prison you've made for yourself in your mind. Just by right now taking this advice and believing it and putting it into action after this. Do what you said you were going to do. Do what you know you need to do inside of your conscience. You know what you need to do. Turn up. Turn up. Don't overwhelm yourself with a massive goal. Break down the goal into smaller goals. And if those smaller goals are too big, because sometimes they are, when you first start things out, you need to start small. Break it down even smaller. So when I first started making vids, and I've talked about this before, I just put the camera on. I held it up, and I spoke to it like a retard. I just spoke about my day. I spoke about how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking about, what I need to do. And I just spoke to it. There was a time last year, fair enough, a year ago, was when I started to get really consistent on YouTube. And I just thought, all right, I need to be consistent. So I'm going to make a video. I'm just going to talk impromptu, no script, nothing. And I'm going to try my hardest. I'm going to put as much effort as I can in. It could be a 3-minute video, a 7-minute video. I talked about something and it wasn't great. I was stuttering. I was talking in a weird way, unconfidently. Eye contact was all funny. I was like a robot. I wasn't as expressive. I wasn't as enthusiastic. I was stiff. But I did the video and I tried the best I could. And that doesn't mean it's perfect, no. But I tried the best I could. And I made that video. Then I tried to edit it. It took a bit of time. Maybe I left it for a week. I can't completely remember. But when you first start out, that's how it has to be. Just try and be as consistent as you can be. That's how consistent I was. And it wasn't the best. But that's how I started. And that's how you might have to start. And then I uploaded it. So I had it edited. I made a thumbnail. And I put it out. I was pleased. Because I finally did what I wanted to do. I'd never done it like that, how I did it, because it was consistent. It was all in a order, like I did the video, then I edited it. In the next 2-3 days after I made the video, I edited it, then I uploaded it a day later after I edited. And then I did the same again. I didn't feel like doing it, but I just turned up again. Then I started to build that habit. You just need the habit. You just need to make videos. And then when you make a video, try and improve it for next time. Don't overthink before you do it. Just make the video. Like I said, consistency is built by action, by just turning up. Take the action you know you need to take, whatever it is. I was avoiding doing the videos. I was avoiding editing. I would feel it because it's a new thing and it's a hard thing when you first do it. It's hard. It's uncomfortable. There's this tension. But once you turn up and you do it for a bit, like you do just a bit of editing, that's your goal in the day. Say you've made the video, then you need to do a bit of editing. Do a bit and then turn up again. The next day, the next week, and get it done. Do it again. Do it again, get it done, upload it. That's how consistency is built. Not by just doing it, the whole thing in one, getting it all done and out. No, you've got to build to that. That is how habit is built. Take action and the habit will build. And then improve on that habit once it is built. And if you stick to this consistently, you will be able to turn up without so much hesitation and tension in yourself. The tension will ease. You know, it's still hard work, but it will ease and it will become joyful because you know what you're doing, you know what you're moving towards, and you're doing it. And you've become more skillful at it, and you've built the habit. And it will become an enjoyment to do it, not as much as of a task. It still is a task because you want to do it better, but it's not as hard of a task. The hardest thing is to start, like we said. Most people don't start. Just start and be happy when you do a bit. When you make a bit of progress, be happy with it. And what I just said, that is the real truth. People will tell you, oh yeah, I just started one day. It was really hard. And then I just stayed consistent, and every day I did it. I didn't have a month off, I didn't have a week off, I didn't have a day off. I just stayed consistent. A lot of us don't do that, and even them, the people who say that, they didn't do that. They turned up. After that, they were bloody shot away and knackered because they did a new thing and a hard thing. They started something which is a big thing to them. You know, like doing this. This is a big thing. This is what I want my main income to be. This is a serious thing. This is my career. Taking steps towards that, building a business. And that can be overwhelming. People who build their businesses, they forget where they were when they first started. They just see themselves as who they are now. They forget the things that they did, and they teach something they didn't do. They teach this morning routine and this thing that they didn't do when they first came up. They didn't talk about, building consistency, and that it's not all about just being completely consistent when you first start out. You've just got to have some form of consistency. That means you could miss a couple days, a week, but you come back to it. And then after that, you try not to miss a week again. You try just to miss a few days if you can, and then you try to do better and you don't miss a day. But that's over time, over months and over years. You want to do it in months if you want to, make as much progress as you can. You just want to be as consistent as you can if you really want to make as much progress as you can. But you can't make it so you have to turn up every day, and if you don't, then there's no point. Because that's how a lot of us think, and that's how I used to think, that you just have to have it consistent now. I need to have the habit built now. I need to have the skill built now. And if I don't, but there's no point in doing it. No, don't do that. You need to work hard for a time, for a long time. It might be years, it might be months, But quick success ain't good success. It's usually foolish, ultimately, if you get instant attention from people. You don't want that. You want to build a real work ethic. You want to build a real audience. If you're doing what I'm doing, you want to build a real customer base, not a quick easy one. A good loyal customer base, and that takes time, and skills take time to develop. So keep consistent after you take action. Turn up, don't give up, don't lose sight of that goal you had, that big goal. You had that big goal in your mind, yes, but bring it down in the day-to-day actions you take so that you may move towards it, and you will move towards it more efficiently and effectively if you bring it lower into the smaller goals that you can take day by day and day by day. And then you'll learn how to work for mad amounts of time on it. When you used to only work 10 minutes on it a day, because that's all you could handle. And then soon after progressively overloading, you'll be able to do 4 hours of deep work just locked in, enjoying the work because you know what you're moving towards. And that's a great thing. I do that, and I think about how I was, and I used to just hate doing this. This would just I wouldn't hate it, but it would be so much tension just turning up. But now, because I've done it consistently, I love it. I mean, I'm in a flow state. I'm just in a place of joy, of bliss. And that's how you build that, is by consistency. And this is how the world's top providers of value have lived, in this state of action taking quickly and improving on what they're doing consistently. I mean, that is the main thing people are doing who own businesses. They're constantly trying to improve their product, their service, so that it can be as effective as it can be and provide as much value as it can to customers. That is how they build their business. That is how they help people. That is how they provide more value and have more impact on the world and gain more influence and gain more money. Money's not bad. It's not. When it's used badly, yes, but it's good. It gives you freedom. You need money. So earlier what I said, people only work for money. Yeah, you shouldn't only work for money. You should have a purpose. You need money, yes, and you want to make money, but it's not the overall meaning to why you're doing things only. Your main meaning should be to provide real value to people and to serve God above all. And money comes with that. Money is something that comes from that. It's lower than that on your priorities, but it's still important because we need money to live. We need money to provide for our families, but it just needs to be used properly, and it shouldn't be loved. It needs to be kept in its proper place. Set your aim. Once you've set your aim, act quickly. Give it all you can. Don't overthink no more. Don't procrastinate anymore. You've heard it. Take action. Stop living for others. Stop living for the world. Stop thinking about human approval, opinions of you, of what you should do, especially with people who you don't look up to, especially with people who you don't trust, especially with people who do not seek to follow God. One God, the Holy Trinity. Do not seek God. Seek to listen to your spiritual advisors, your Father. Seek to be with people who encourage you in your goals, in your mission, in your ambition. Those are the people you want around you, people who are moving towards big things, who want to have an impact on this world, who want to have a real purposeful life, living for God ultimately. By doing that, providing value, so you're not alone in this. This is the big decision, especially for men. We need to know what we want to do. A lot of us don't have any idea what to do. We really don't. And then we end up just working on a construction site for ages. We end up working in crappy jobs that we don't like, that tire us out, that just wear us out. And then we don't have any drive to do anything else in our spare time. Because we have a lot of spare time. But we use it doing stupid things. So let's go. Get at it. Get at it. Get at it, lad. Get at it. I'm trying to get at it. You're getting at it. Let's build. Let's grow. Let's establish God's kingdom on this earth. Let's be principled. No more excuses. Let go. Let go of them. And just turn up. Glory to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Have a good day.